Tyler, I've heard that I should convert my traditional IRA to Roth. Are there any downsides to this? And is there anything else I should know about? The correct answer to that question is yes. There are downsides to that. So, for anybody who doesn't know what this person is talking about, oh, should I convert to Roth? If you have a traditional 401k, 403b, 457, you got a traditional IRA, that money, when you pull it out, when you take a withdrawal, is fully taxable. Now, if you convert that to Roth and you leave it in there for 5 years, the entire account is tax-free. However, there are still some drawbacks to doing so. Namely, these has to do with the tax consequences. And there are some unintended or tax consequences that most people don't even know about. So when you convert let's say you have a traditional IRA, let's say you have $200,000. If you converted that entire thing to a Roth IRA, you're going to have that money go into a Roth, but now you're also going to have $200,000 added to your taxable income for the year. So yes, that's going to push your tax brackets up, but that's not even the biggest consequence. The biggest consequence comes if you are of retirement age, you're 65, you're 67, is number one, with the OBBA, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, they added in a new additional deduction on top of the standard deduction for seniors. That is $6,000 if you're a single filer and $12,000 if you are a married couple. Now, what do Roth conversions have to do with that? I'll tell you. There is a phase out to that deduction, meaning for single filers, if you go above $75,000, that deduction starts to fade away. And then eventually you get to the point where you've lost that deduction entirely. If you are a married couple, you get above $150,000. Now that $12,000 deduction starts to phase out, and eventually you lose that deduction entirely. So you converting to Roth could mean a double whammy, because now you're not only adding more income to your taxable income for the year, but you've also lost an additional deduction that you would have had. So it's a double effect. So that's the first level. Then there's another bracket above that we want to avoid, and that is the IRMAA level. That's IRMAA. That stands for the Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount for Medicare. If you're a single filer and you get above $109,000 a year in income, doesn't matter if you get just $1 above it, all of a sudden now your Medicare costs start going up significantly. That's the first level. So the Medicare levels has its own tax brackets. The first is at 109, the second is at 137,000. Now, you get above 137,000, your Medicare cost is doubled, and that's just Part B. Part D is going to have the same effect as well. The more you make, the more and more your Medicare gets. So a lot of people don't know about these things, and they hear, oh, there's no downsides to converting to Roth, and then they go ahead and do this, and then they're shocked. They're like, why is my Medicare doubled? Why did I lose this extra deduction? What's going on? And because they didn't understand that, yes, there are side effects, so to speak. And listen, just like in medicine, some of the best prescription drugs in the world that are the best for you to resolve your condition or whatever are going to have side effects. Just like that, the Roth conversion has side effects. So it is important that if you are doing a Roth conversion, you are understanding of exactly what levels you want to stay beneath and you want to avoid. And listen, even all of that being said, sometimes I've had people just recently say to me, Tyler, I get all that, but I'm willing to rip the Band-Aid off for a year or two and just get this thing over with. That's perfectly fine as long as you understand the ramifications and you're willingly saying, you know what, I understand all that. I understand I'm going to be paying a little more for Medicare, but I need to get this done. Now, why would someone say that? Why would someone be in such a rush to do that? We talked about some of the potential downsides of converting. Now, what if you don't convert? Traditional IRAs and 401ks and all those accounts, they have required minimum distributions. So you get to a certain age, right now it's either 73 or 75, depending on when you were born. The government is going to require you to start taking distributions every year, and they're going to tell you exactly how much you have to take. The problem with this becomes you can grow your account to such a point by then that the amount the government tells you to take is always, for the rest of your life, going to put you above IRMAA, and it's going to make sure you never get that Social Security deduction. because that money gets added to taxable income. So there are people who will say, you know what, I understand all that, but if I don't do anything, I'm going to be paying that forever. So I'd rather just suffer the consequences now, which that's perfectly fine. But the key moral of the story is this: are there any downsides I should know about? Yes, there are. And that's why if you're doing this yourself, you need to make sure you're really meticulously monitoring this stuff. Or if you're working with someone, you need to make sure the person you're working with actually knows about this stuff, is on top of it. And then this way you have a plan developed so that you can still convert, but you're also converting while maintaining those nice deductions, and you're staying clear of the Medicare price increases. What we do is, for anybody who watches this video, we offer a complimentary consultation session down below. Just click the link in the description. No cost. We're not going to try to sell you anything. We're basically just going to go over and talk to you about how this might work. If you're not interested in that, but you did the video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel a lot if you do this. And then otherwise, if anybody has any questions, I'd love to. I'm always in the comments, so feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd be more than happy to answer it down there. And other than that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.